Yo, man. Y'all not tuned in with the Brandon show. I got my two guests right here, and we about to get this started. You feel me?
No.
Brandon show.
This nigga, bro. This nigga.
The Brandon show, man. You feel me? So I hope y'all like the content. I got my two special guests right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Do it, yo.
And in this video, we're reacting to Light Yagami. Is that how you say his name?
No, like Light Yagami.
It's Light Yamaga.
It's Light Yagami.
Light Yagami. Light Yagami.
It's Light Yagami.
Anime's deadliest serial killer.
I'm going to jail! Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another installment of Anime's Deadliest Serial Killers. And today we dive into the case of the most
you don't know about
serial killer in anime history.
I'll talk about that.
That is none other than Kira.
I'll talk about that later.
Light Yagami. And my God, with all the evidence and the amount of victims this man racked up, this case is gonna be a
bro.
So
man,
let's not waste time. So without further ado, it's time to dive in to the Kira case. Light Yagami, one of the most diabolical niggas to ever exist. A man with a kill count that ranges in the 6 figures and had a whole cult praising this nigga, thinking that he's the Messiah.
He did.
Glorify God and stretch out your arms.
That'd be funny if he just wrote their name in the book.
But you have to wonder.
That's funny that you brought. It's funny that you brought that up there.
Generic ass background character looking toothpick built ass nigga become one of the most notorious mass murderers in fiction. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are here. So
it's the Death Note.
We need to know what the hell the weapon was to commit all these homicides. And that, of course, is the Death Note. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody knows how this thing works. But if you forgot, here's a quick refresher.
Yep.
The human whose name is written in this note shall die. The note will not take effect unless the writer has the person's face in their mind when writing his or her name. Therefore, people sharing the same name will not be affected. If the cause of death is written within 40 seconds of writing the person's name, it will happen. And finally, after writing the cause of death, details of the death should be written in the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, with all that explained, we can now move into the first major incident. And that is, of course, the first confirmed 52 victims.
I guess.
Now, when Light first found the death note, when it conveniently dropped right in front of him, he thought to himself, man, this is some bullshit. What is this, a sick joke? Who the hell would believe this? But Light, being a little curious George, decided to take the book. So later on, when Light got home, bro,
the Death Note had like manipulation
so he ended
powers,
up thinking in his head, I mean,
crazy.
it doesn't hurt to try it out, right? So
it does, technically.
So he ended up turning on the news and hearing, breaking news!
If I can control what people
crackhead is holding 8 children hostage at
You can, but
so Light said,
you can, but it's just be like you can only control them up to their death.
40 seconds later, the news comes back on and says,
I think Light did that to like a FBI agent.
The children have been set free and the assailant just over and died. Well, this man Light was shook. He was like, no. It was just coincidence, right? No fucking way, right? But it was no coincidence. This local crackhead was the first victim of Light. But Light needed more proof because he thought it just had to be a random coincidence that bro had a heart attack when he wrote his name down. So later on that same night, while Light is
they had to try it out too.
School, he ends up seeing this lady walking, and these bikers come up and start to harass her. So ugly biker bastard right here ends up saying, hey there, pretty lady. How about you come fuck with a real nigga and come in? Spit on that thing for me.
That's crazy.
No, not the hot tour.
To redo a healer shorty in the parking lot. While Light was in the convenience store watching the whole thing,
that is crazy work.
69 gods. So
they didn't actually do it, right?
It made the cause be of accidental
no,
death,
it was about
was
to.
history. Old girl breaks away while ugly bastard tries to track her down.
Watch
your jet, bro. Watch your jet. To another world.
Boy got clothes on.
And just like that, Light caught another body, and this man was stunned. He was
didn't know his name though.
No fucking way.
Yeah, he did. They were saying it.
Oh,
I think they was like I think his friends was calling his first name, and she knew his last name.
Light's God
And
complex
she said, I think she said like his last name, and then tell him to stop. And his friends told him, like, yeah, go ahead. And so he had the first and last name.
So this man looked up a list of criminals
and
just started getting active.
Oh my
this
goodness, this man,
so fast,
this man started going crazy.
And he just started racking
the anime
in his head. Yeah, that ugly bastard that was talking to that little girl the other day. Enjoy being unemployed with Dr. Disrespect. And this man
Dr. Disrespect.
Writing down names until 2 whole
y'all heard about Dr. Disrespect trying to come back to YouTube?
Hard as hell, looking like he just ran a 5K.
Don't let that man come
just
back.
Off of that one night. This man killed 52 criminals. Now, here's the wild part. That was just criminals that died of heart attacks. Because when Interpol got this information, they was like, there could be some people that were unaccounted for. So that death toll could have easily been over 100. So after Light racked up all of his first victims, the name Kira started spreading like wildfire because Light was constantly dropping off niggas. Every single day he was killing multiple criminals and people all around the world was
quick pause
supporting
real
this man.
quick.
They had Reddit
I wanted to
threads.
drop this hot news. Funny thing is the thing about Kira, I always thought it was like a cool name, like it must have meant like God or something. No, actually, Kira, all it means is killer. But cause it's hard to say like L's and R's to Asian people, they call him Kira, which translate to killer. Instead of saying killer, they just call him Kira. And I was like, oh, it's a small little tidbit thing, but like it's funny for people who want trying to learn Japanese or people who just want to know.
I didn't even know that.
But yeah.
In Discord servers,
a little bit for
this nigga, and this just amped up his God complex even more. Bro, just looking at this light, yeah, that's right. Glaze me, nigga. Polish this Willie, and of course now he got this
polish this Willie
Shinigami Ryuk attached to his hip the whole time now. But even though Light was killing only criminals, at the end of the day, it was still murder. And this is when this man fell for the trap. Now, this is the moment where you just think to yourself, what if Light never made this crucial mistake? And that mistake was killing Linda L. Taylor on live TV. So a worldwide public service announcement comes on TV, and this man announces himself as L. But obviously, this ain't L. But Light didn't know. So Linda L. Taylor starts speaking and saying, "Good afternoon, world. My name is Linda L. Taylor. Kira, if you're watching this,
Light would have won if
you are
he
evil,
didn't do
and
this.
you are just a mindless serial killer, and I'm gonna bring your punk ass to justice."
Bro,
so
use
while
the
Light
fake
is
name.
watching this, here come this instigating.
No,
ass
he
nigga.
didn't. That's not him.
I'm not gonna lie, that nigga pressing your shit right now. So what the fuck you gonna do about it, huh? So here comes this
The funny
man,
thing
Light.
is, Ryuk knew that wasn't the person that was talking. Like the person that he was
I
talking.
am God.
Yeah.
You can suck my divine dick 6 feet under. So Light got to work quick. He wrote
Oh
his
my
name down in a
goodness.
heartbeat.
It was a trap.
It was that God.
Yeah, that's
It was
right.
that God
That's the
complex.
word, what happens if you defy me? So 40 seconds later, and Linda L. Taylor has a heart attack, croaks over, and dies. And here go Light thinking he got it in the bag. What's wrong? Huh? Get the fuck up, huh? Pussy, you was talking to that shit!
Good fuck, nigga.
Huh?
Wow, Kira, I can't believe it. You was one dumbass nigga. You really think I'd get my introverted ass on TV and f***ing press you like this? You one stupid ass nigga, and now I know all your shit. The dude you just killed? Yeah, he was due for execution today anyway, so he could go f*** off. Also, this is not a worldwide broadcast. We only broadcasting this in the Kanto region of Japan. So guess what, motherfucker? I know exactly where you at. So come on, motherfucker. Go on ahead and try to do it. Come on, I'm waiting for you right here.
That was a lie.
Show me
Light really stole.
on you. Or is it that you need a name and a face?
Fuck.
How did he catch on to that?
He got your ass.
Cause he was like, He was
Kira
seeing
knows.
all
I'm
possibilities
coming for your bitch ass.
of how Kira could do it. But all he
So
showed
after this
was the
man
name in the face.
outplayed
That's why he
Light
brought
like
it
a
up.
fool and pressed the living hell out of him, the investigation on Kira
Bro,
went into
must have
full
did his
effect. So
research.
this is where we move
People
on to our
randomly
next set of
getting-
evidence and next set of
getting
victims.
killed.
And our first key
Nah,
victim is Ray
Elle
Pimber.
is, like,
Now,
crazy
Ray
smart.
Pimber was a FBI agent. Yeah, this case got so big.
Yeah, this
that
is
this
FBI
Elle
agent,
ended up
the guy I
getting
was
help
talking
from
about.
the FBI to come solve this case, because that's how horrendous this shit got. Because Light was murdering like 23 niggas a day at this point. He was dropping
That
at
is
least
insane.
one body an hour and just toying with Elle the whole time. So Elle suspected that whoever Kira was had to have ties to the police, because how the hell would this person be getting all this information on these criminals? And what do you know? Light's dad is the police chief. So Elle
Kira
basically
also
made every single
goes
person
by
that had
killing
ties
a
to the
lot of
police
people
be
in
kept under
Japan.
surveillance
I would
by
have
the
been killing
FBI.
people in
And Ray
different
Pimber's
countries
job
before I
was to
moved to my
survey
own.
Light. And obviously Light didn't need this type of heat. So Light decided, I'm gonna have to put this man in a coffin. So Light came up with this devious ass plan, and that was the bus jacking incident. So for this, Light needed a guinea pig. So he found another local crackhead on the most wanted list, Kichiro Otsuruda. I'm not gonna lie, I just butchered that man's name. So the second part of his plan, he
really
needed a
did.
shorty. So this man dialed up one of his shorties on his roster and called her and said, hello?
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick, brother.
Nah, that's wild.
I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man. Like, for real.
You's a freaky ass nigga!
So the next day, Light ends up meeting the girl.
For
They
real.
go on their date to Disneyland. And of course, Ray Pimber is right behind them, following them, all according to Light's plan. So they end up getting on the bus, and Ray Pimber sits right behind them. So about a good 15 minutes later, they stop at the next bus stop, and the local crackhead gets on the bus. And this man wasted no time. He
Yep.
cocked back the gun and said, all right, everybody, sit the fuck down and do your best Rosa Parks impersonation. I'ma blow this nigga brain.
Rosa Parks.
But sir, please, I ain't playing with
Nah,
you,
that's
nigga.
wild.
So this man called up Disneyland and said, bring out all the cash you made today, and make sure the nigga that's bringing out got on a Minnie Mouse costume. Sir, we're able to comply with your demands, but why the Minnie Mouse costume? So I can get my nut off, nigga. The fuck else you expect? So
Nah, that is
lunatic
crazy.
is high
To
out
get
of his
my
mind
nut
and
off.
going wild. This
To get
man
my
Ray
nut
Pimber
off
leans
is
over and
crazy,
says,
bro.
all right, y'all, like he said, stay calm and do your best Rosa Parks impersonation. My name is Ray Pimber, FBI. So when this man Light looked at this man's ID, bro just smirked and thought in his head,
You're cooked.
nigga, all according to plan. So Light
That's
gives him his
wild.
ID and drops a piece of paper on the floor. So the crackhead's like, the fuck you moving for, you little shit? You want me to blow your brains out, nigga? But Light meant to drop that paper because that was a piece of the death note. So old boy turns around and starts tweaking because he ends up seeing Ryuk behind him. So bro just starts trying to shoot this man Ryuk, but obviously it ain't working.
Quiez.
So bro ran up to the
Yeah.
bus driver and said,
What's that one song with
get me
Lee,
off this bus. So the bus driver
when he talking about antidote.
Bro runs out into the street and comes flying down the street and splatters this nigga's guts like the
I don't even
Nickelodeon
know.
logo.
Says she from
And of
LA, but she staying
Light
on
is sitting on
time.
this bus with no emotion, looks at his watch
even
and
know
said,
that song.
11:45 on the dot,
I don't know.
right on schedule. Light staged this entire bus jacking.
So I'm about to say, you
Using the
should try
death note,
looking
he
up the
made this
lyrics.
man board the bus, attempt to hijack it, then jump out and get
Yeah,
hit
see,
by a
Quiz,
car
is what I
due
was
to
telling you
accidental
about.
death. And then at the
called
end of
New
this,
York
Ray
Knicks.
Pimber thinks nothing suspicious of this man because he
Oh, I
thought,
remember that.
I mean, it couldn't be Kira because he would have just offed him when he got on the bus. So now this man does not suspect Light, and Light has his name. So after Light boomed the second local crackhead, it was time to move into phase 3 of his plan. So about a week later, at a subway station, he ends up seeing Ray Pimber walking. So Light puts on his hood looking like he about to hit a lick. So he gets behind him and says, Ray Pimber, don't move a fucking muscle or I'll drop your ass right here. So Light tells this man
Bro
that
is
he's
just risking
Kira.
it
And to
all.
prove it, he said, look over there. You see that nigga with them glasses on? I'ma drop that nigga right now. And bro right here starts having a heart attack and dies. bro straight up off this man and they
Why did he do that?
And
What
then
is-
Light told him, don't worry, you should
Because anybody he killed.
register sex offender and a PDF file.
Oh, never mind.
Talking to three
Yeah.
little boys the other
Yeah.
day. So Light gives him an earpiece and tells him to board a
Yeah,
train.
anybody
so later
Light
on, when he boards
kills
the train, Light
pretty
tells
much
him to
evil.
open the envelope. And he sees all these papers. So Light says in his ear, I want you to write your boss's name and every single FBI agent that came here in Japan. Do what? I'ma drop your ass and your bitch right the fuck now. So
Bro.
Ray Pember writes down all the
Yeah,
names.
Jesus.
I was about to say, there's no
Light
way he's
told
gonna
him,
write down
"Wait 30
everybody's
minutes
name."
and then get off the train.
He
so
did.
30 minutes pass. Ray Pember
At
gets
this point,
off
you
the
should know
train
you're gonna
and it
get taken
happens.
out.
And right before the lights went out, this man
I wouldn't
looked
write
up
nothing
and
down,
saw
bro,
who
'cause
Kira
I wouldn't
was the
trust
whole
it.
time and thought
Yeah.
before he died, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Bro, it's
And he
amazing.
only
So after
stood.
the lights went out for
And the
Ray
only
Pember,
reason why
so
Light
did the
stood
rest
there
of the
was just because he
FBI's,
wanted to be
'cause the
petty
sheet
and let
that
him
Ray
know who
Pember
did
wrote
it.
those names on were Death Note sheets. So the other 11
yeah.
agents that were in Japan and his boss shortly died right after Ray. And just like that, Light Yagami did the unthinkable. This man bitched the FBI. Because the director of the FBI calls L and tells him, Mr. L, I'm sorry, but America's gonna have to pull out of this one. This shit's getting out of hand. Now it seems that Light is ready to make his victory lap, but there was one problem. There was a loose end, and that loose end was Ray Pember's fiance, a former FBI agent. So she did some snooping around and quickly figured out who
That one
Kira
here,
was had
that's
to
when
be
you know
on
you about
that
to crash
bus.
out.
Also, she ended up figuring out that he can kill in other ways besides a heart attack. So a couple days later, she goes to the police station because she's basically figured out this entire thing. All she needs to know was who was on the
Shaking my
bus.
head.
So when she goes to the police station and asks to speak to Light's dad, who is over the case, just by coincidence, Light
What?
walks
Light's
in
dad's
and
a police
overhears her
officer?
talking about it. So Light was like,
Yeah, he's the head of the
so he
police
walks up
right
to her
now.
and tells her, Hi, excuse me, ma'am. My name's Light. Pleasure to meet you. You see, my dad is the chief of the police force, so I can help you out real quick. You know what I'm saying? So they end up walking outside and they start chatting it up. So the first thing Light asks is, Miss Beautiful Miss, can I have your name? So she says, my name's Shoko Maki. So Light already has the name. So now his plan was to just talk her up, figure out what she knows, and if she knew too much, he
Shoko
was
Maki.
gonna offer. So they kept on talking, and she just kept on yapping. But everything she said was right. And the real stinger was, she said that, so my fiance said that he showed somebody his ID, and he wasn't
Shaking my
supposed
head.
to. So whoever he
He
showed
did.
his ID
He was
to,
just saying all of it.
Bro done
that's
got
most
caught
definitely
red-handed.
Kira. So Light was like,
Now he's going to
"Shit,
lie.
Yeah,
He's
he
waiting.
was-
way too much. She
Nah,
got to die
yeah.
now. Because if they pull
He
up
gotta
them bus
go.
cameras,
He knows too
Light's
much.
cooked. So here go this sinister ass
Yeah.
nigga. So bro starts asking her questions, but in reality, he's writing down her name. So Light thinks he's got her. But
He
a couple of more
tells himself it.
seconds pass, and she's still alive. So Light ends up figuring out because Ryuk's ass was laughing at him the whole time that she used the alias. So that was not her real name. So Light is starting to panic. It is do or die right now. Because if she gets back to the police station, he's done. So he pulled this last trick out of his ass and told her, well, you see, ma'am, it's gonna be actually impossible for you to go back to the police station because they're very busy right now. But it's okay though, because I'm on the Kira task force. Oh my gosh, really? Yeah, I have connections to L too. So this Pinocchio, long-nosed, lion-ass nigga basically baited her and told her, you know what, ma'am, you are really smart. You should join the task force with us. All you gotta do is show me your ID so I can check your credentials. So obviously, she jumped at the idea because she wants to bring her fiance's killer to justice. So she whips out her ID and it's over. Light saw her real name, wrote it down, and made the Cosby of unaliving herself. So right before tragedy was about to strike, she asked this man, why do you keep on looking at your watch? Oh, because I'm Kira. Duh, stupid bitch. And it was over.
Duh,
She ended up
stupid
walking away and she's going to unalive herself in GTA. And while she's walking away, this sick nigga is just talking and saying, oh, ma'am, what's wrong? You still need to use my phone, right? I thought we were gonna catch Kira. And what makes this even more tragic, they never found her body. We don't know what the hell happened to her.
What?
All we know is that she unalived herself. And with that, the bus jacking incident comes to a close.
She probably was like, man,
Alrighty.
I'd rather
Chop,
do it
moving on,
myself.
we got more people dying. Flip the board
No,
for our next set of evidence. Now,
unless
she's
obviously,
the
we know
FBI
Light's biggest
agent.
opposition is L. One of the
She's the
smartest
FBI
characters in
agent.
fiction. This nigga's anime Sherlock
They
Holmes.
know how to
And this man
dispose
was
of
on
bodies
Light's
while people finding
ass
them.
24/7 because he always had a hunch that Light was Kira. I mean, he literally walked up to bro and said,
Oh, yeah.
"Hey man, my name's L, and I think there's a 5% chance that you're Kira."
What?
I'm not sure all the way, but
Yo.
there's like a 5%
3 feet?
chance, bruh. He had this man join the Kira task force to
Wait,
keep an eye on
Light
him
wasn't
more.
a police
He
officer,
even had
right?
camera set up in his room, watching him
He was
24/7.
going to school to
So
be
you
a
know
police
damn
officer.
well that he was watching him,
And then he
taking
joined the
his
task force.
shit. And don't be acting
That's
like
wild.
I'm reaching. You think
Now
Light
that's
was
wild.
cracking Misa? Fuck no, he hated this bitch.
You done seen
Speaking of
this
that, let me go
man
ahead and introduce
do
the
everything.
real.
the second Kira, Misa.
Oh, yeah, Misa.
This girl suffers from brain rot, and she's just
Yeah.
deeply in love with this nigga. And the reason why is
He
because
is
her
not-
parents
he
were
is not
murdered.
bright.
And lo and behold, guess who brought justice to the murderer?
Yeah.
Off that nigga. And how she got a death note is even crazier. One night she was walking home and she got approached by some crazy ass stalker nigga. And he was ready to kill her. So a Shinigami named Jealous that was weirdly in love with her decided to save her life and kill the stalker at the cost of his life. So Rim decided, I might as well give her the death note. He would have wanted it this way. And tada, Miss Brainrot became the second Kira. So Light decided to use her because she had the Shinigami eyes and she could see any person's name just by looking at them. But at the cost of halving your lifespan though. But Light knew he needed her to dip in his bag so
Nah,
he could
bro,
kill people
he's
10
using
times
you at
easier.
that
So he
point,
made
like-
her pose as his girlfriend.
Where?
So time passes, and one day, L ends up capturing Misa, suspecting her of being the second Kira, because they raided her apartment and just found a bunch of
Dang.
shit. So she got put in confinement. So Light said, "F it, it's time to activate my
Solitary
master plan."
confinement.
So to make sure Misa did not confess, he had Rim make her relinquish ownership of the Death Note, so it would wipe all of her memories of it. Then had Rim and Ryuk swap notebooks. And in the notebook, he wrote down 2 BS rules that basically said, if the person that is using the notebook hasn't wrote down a name in 13 days, they die. And if you destroy the notebook, all the
What?
humans that have used it will die. So he told Rim,
Those are
go
fake
give this
rules.
notebook to a greedy, power-hungry bastard and let them become Kira. While I give myself
so
up
the
to
rules
L,
don't actually work?
relinquish ownership of the Death Note and go
No,
into
those
solitary
rules
confinement
that he
for a
wrote in there
total
that you
of
just heard
50
are fake.
days. And that's what
It's
Light did. Because
to
on
put
day
away
7 of
blame
his
away from
confinement,
Misa
Light gave
and
up his
Light.
ownership of the Death Note and lost all of his memories of it to take all
But
suspicion off
basically,
of him. And on day
if they look at
15,
the rules,
the
that
murder
means
started back up
means
again. And the person murdering
if
these
they die after
people was
13
Mr.
days, Light and Misa would have been dead if they was
of the
Kira.
Yotsuba group. So him and this group decided to kill other businessmen to further the growth of their company. These niggas was Disney just building a bigger monopoly. But their
That's
downfall was they
That's
had
crazy. The movie didn't even
rats.
die.
And that
The
was
movie- the
these
real
two
life
right
movie
here,
that we
'cause
had
they
watched.
basically sold out and
The
was
live
talking
action,
to
it
L
didn't
the
even
whole
go
time.
this deep.
So over time after Light and Misa
It didn't go
released from
nowhere.
confinement,
That movie
L
was
and Light, the
trash.
2 smartest niggas on the earth working on the case simultaneously, ended up figuring
They
out that
should've
it
made
was
it like a
Higuchi.
mini
So one
series.
night they end up baiting him out with a fake broadcast saying that
Yeah,
they're about to
if they was
reveal
gonna
who
make it
Kira
like
is.
this, they
So
shouldn't
later
have
on,
made it
while
at
this
all.
man is speeding down the road, he ends up getting stopped by a cop. So the cop do his thing. He like, license and registration, please. So Higuchi's like, all right. But this man was not reaching for the license. He was reaching for the Death Note. And he made the Shinigami ideal so he could see the officer's name. So he wrote bro's name down, then just hit the gas and took off. So this man starts
That's
a whole
wild.
high-speed chase, running from this cop. And
For real, I would've waited.
Later, the cop ends up having a heart attack and crashes into the back of a truck. Another victim by truck coon. Damn, this nigga's on a tear. So that man L said, all units, arrest this nigga. And I kid you not, this shit went from Death Note to Tokyo Drift. So this man had the whole task force chasing him, L Light and Watery in the chopper, and they was not playing games. They said this shit ends tonight. So while this man Higuchi is speeding on the road, this man runs into a police blockade.
Oh yeah, bro.
Getting cornered, and he is trapped. So he tries to jump off the way, but FaZe Watery is up here on the helicopter and says, "Not on my watch, fuck boy," and shoots his tire out, makes him spin out, and he crashes into the wall. And it was over for Higuchi. They surrounded that man. So they cuff him, pin him down, and they start interrogating him. Now here is where this master manipulator plan comes full circle. So while they're interrogating him, Higuchi tells him that there is a notebook that allows him to do all of his killings. So Light Dad goes in and searches the car, and he finds the death note. So when he touches it and starts looking through it, he ends up seeing Rim and freaks the f out. So then the other detective comes over, and he says, "Chief, are you all right? The fuck you screaming for?" Oh, shit! So that man L bring the notebook over to the helicopter.
Yeah, they can see the Cj Dachamp if you touch the death
staring into nothingness. Just
I would have wanted to see it too. I would have been like, what are y'all looking at?
There has to be more than one notebook because there were 2 Kiras. And while that was happening, Light was like, "Let me see it." And Light grabbed the notebook and started tweaking. Bro, like he entered the avatar state. Every single memory came back into this man's head. So L was like, bro, are you good? And Light was like, "Oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine." It swaps over to his face and it's over. This nigga just thinking,
you're dying.
Yes, I've won. All according to plan. So this man pulls out a piece of paper that he had in his watch, plucks himself and makes him bleed, and writes down Higuchi's name with his blood. And 40 seconds later, while they're taking him back to the car to arrest him, Higuchi has a heart attack, falls to his knees, and dies. And look at this man's face, bro. It is all over. It was just about to get worse from here. So they get back to headquarters and they start looking over the death note and they find those fake bogus rules that Light made. And that fake 13 days rule basically cleared him and Misa's name. So they were off the hook. So this is when Light's mass manipulation went overboard. He made Misa go find the other death note, gain all of her memories back, then left a note saying, "Yeah, you remember that guy L? Find his real name and kill him." So she makes the Shinigami ideal again, cutting her lifespan in half again. And she makes her start killing people again. And this is where Rim ended up realizing what Light's full plan was. And that was to get suspicion back on Misa so that Rim would have to intervene and kill L to protect Misa because Rim deeply cared about Misa. So it was pretty much wraps from here. The power goes out and she done already killed Watery. This old man fighting for his life. So he ends up deleting all the data and then a few seconds later, it happens. L has a heart attack, falls over.
Because he didn't know who was killing him, so he was trying to make sure nobody can get their information.
Evil, dick-headed ass smirk.
Yeah.
To rub it in at the last second. And the lights went out.
Wait, so Light actually kills L?
Now here comes the attitude swap up.
Yeah.
This fucker, he's like,
I didn't even know that.
No! It was the Shinigami guys!
It was the Shinigami guys.
I really do hate this nigga. But I have to admit,
Wait, what?
Game. This man is the best mass manipulator right beside this bastard. So then later he ends up finding Rim's pile of ashes because she died because she was saving Misa, and Light just casually takes his death note back. So after this, Light was about to go on another mass murder requiem. This man stands at the top of the building.
Well, he's doing a good thing.
These 2 people that were on the task force that were basically convicts, yeah, it was raps for them. Bootleg Nina Williams. She's out here riding her motorcycle. She has a heart attack, crashes the motorcycle.
What's up with him and heart attacks?
And this next one was tragic.
Bro, if you don't say how they died, they just die of a heart attack.
And the kid's like, "Daddy!" Just to see his dad's
no way.
fall on the ground.
That's messed up.
Oh man, and y'all remember the Yotsuba group? They thought they were scot-free. Renji gets up and tells Suguru that we did it, man. This is a new start for Yotsuba. Yeah, man, our stock is about to roar. Just for this man to fall over, up blood, and old boy right here knew he was cooked. He has a heart attack, and every single member of the Yotsuba group died.
Yeah.
But Light didn't stop there. Now, I have a theory, because they didn't confirm this, but I honest to God think that this is true. While he's on this killing montage, it shows all the past news reporters that have reported on this man. Now, you see this woman right here. Peep this. On this board where it shows a bunch of criminals being wiped out, she is on the bottom right, and her picture goes out. So that tells me this nigga killed
Cj killing all his camera people. Yeah.
About him. I'm sick. I'm actually
they just
sick.
all the news reporters.
Y'all can suck my dick, TMZ. And after this, it just got worse. Over the next
taking bad press.
5 years, Light's
They're
killings
just news
increased
reporters. Ain't no
tenfold
way.
because there was nobody that could stop him. So this is a time where this man had to have dropped off at least 100,000 plus. Nigga, America claimed him as law, judge, jury, and executioner because they couldn't do
he getting the
nothing.
job.
You're labeled as law.
You know he ain't do shit.
If you're labeled as
But I can't
law,
blame the
there's
old nigga
nothing.
because
There's
Light's reign of
nothing
terror
anybody
just
can
got
do.
worse and worse and worse. I mean, the nigga can control Truck Kun on command. And the most chilling thing this man ever did was go to L's grave and just start derangingly laughing his ass off. Look at this nigga. He has his ass up. He's twerking at his grave and spitting on his I mean, look at that thing. That shit is moving. This nigga Light said, eat my testicles, nigga. And with Light's victory, we now move into our final set of evidence. Now, at this point in time, Light has taken the mantle of L. Yes, Light just didn't kill L. He took his whole flow, his whole name. And L's successors, Near and Mello, are now on his ass. So Mello and the Mafia decided to kidnap the director of the MPA so they could trade him for the Death Note. So guess what Light did? Ding, 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 you probably guessed it. Light kills the director of the MPA, so the Mafia will lose their leverage. But guess what? That's just the start of this last little list that I have. So you want to hear some more terrible shit? I got you. So since Light killed the director of the MPA, Mello and the Mafia decided, let's kidnap this man's sister so they could get more leverage. So after this whole trade went down and they got back his sister, she was so traumatized by this experience, her mind was broken. She was so fucked up she couldn't even talk. Had her in a wheelchair and everything at Arkham Asylum. And his sister was sadly a victim of his actions. But guess who also was a victim of his actions? His daddy. Yeah, this man used his dad as a pawn. So to get back that Death Note, Light decided to relinquish his. It made Misa send a message that said Kira will be relinquishing his Death Note to somebody in the task force. And guess who took ownership of that Death Note and made the Shinigami ideal? His daddy. So later on, they end up raiding Mello's hideout. And at the end of the raid, Light tells his dad to confront Mello. So while Light's dad is confronting Mello, Light's dad was hesitant about writing his name down and killing him. So one of the dudes that was left alive shoots his dad in the back, and Mello blows up his hideout.
Oh my gosh.
So after this, they are in the hospital and Light's dad is about to die. So you know what this sick, pathetic bastard does? He says, Dad,
I know good and well.
Before you go, you've got to write his name down.
Is this nigga serious?
Come on, old motherfucker, help me out here, damn it. Do something useful for your son before you fucking die.
Oh
That's
my
messed
God.
up.
Get him the fuck out of here. Get
That
him
is
the, please.
messed up.
Black, get him the fuck out of here.
Like, I can't begin to tell you how pathetic this shit was. Yo dad is about to die because of your actions, by the way, and you begging this nigga to get somebody's name for your personal gain. Sick bastard. And this wasn't even the worst part. Since his dad had the Shinigami eyes, he looked at Light and said, "Oh, sonny boy, I'm glad to see that you not Kira because I could see your lifespan. I could die at peace."
Wait, but
This
I thought the
man's
killer
dad died
people
not
of the
knowing
Death Note
that
can't
his
see
son
other
was
people
Kira because he
that have the
relinquished that Death Note. Because the thing was,
Oh, yeah,
if
he
you were a
relinquished.
user of the Death Note, a person with Shinigami eyes could not see your lifespan. So his dad died.
because he relinquished it. That's why you saw the numbers.
Sickening shit. and his blood is on Light's hands. So this man joins Doflamingo in the Patricide Club. Now we have come down to our last major victim, and this one was just peak manipulation. So while Kira's influence was growing stronger in the world, and Light was out here inciting riots to stop Nier, he needed the right people to spread his message. So the ex-Kira, Teru Mikami, who was basically Light's right-hand man, that he personally chose after making
that's that anime guy who was running from the book
all of her memories, decided we need a change of management. So this fat nigga, Demigawa, who is the leader of Kira's kingdom and is the spokesperson for this cult, decided to stream their Sunday service on TV.
Tell me how you feel now. Yes, Lord.
So Mikami said, fuck these niggas. So he deletes every single
when he started doing the anime attack on the book.
Demigawa's fat ass for last. He said, the doors of the church are open, but not for you. So after Mikami disbanded the Church of Kira, he chose a loyal supporter of Kira to be the next spokesperson. And that was Kiyomi Takeda, Light's ex-girlfriend back in college. So you see where this is probably gonna go, right? So Light convinced the task force that we should use Shorty to get some more leverage on Kira and find out who that is. But obviously, Light had ulterior motives with her. So one night, he meets up with her. So here go this manipulation Riz. How you doing, Shorty? You looking as fine as ever. And he just had her in the palm of his hand. So he basically told her, look, Shorty, I'm Kira, and I see that my dog has chosen you as my spokesperson. So I'ma make you the goddess of the new world. And she was so ecstatic. She was entrenched in this nigga. And yeah, y'all could probably guess what happened after this. Now they don't show it, but let's be real. Light laid the pipe on her ass.
How good is that?
So after Light getting his freak on and getting Takeda to work with him, he had Shorty basically being another Kira. So he made Mikami make a fake notebook and sent the actual names to Takeda, bringing her in and making her do some damn killing.
That is
she was just
how is he late?
She had that Jeffrey Dahmer syndrome when Shorty's was just fiending over that nigga for some odd reason. But
he's
time
that
for shit to
good.
get crazy. So one day, Takeda ends up getting ran up on and kidnapped by Mello. So a couple hours passed and Mello started trying to interrogate her. Bro pulled out the gun and said, all right, chop, chop. Take off them clothes and start shaking them booty cheeks. I'ma blow your fucking brains out, bitch. So while she starts stripping, she ends up taking a piece of the death note out that she had on her bra. So while Mello's transporting her in the back of this truck, she ends up calling Light and she on the phone saying, oh my God, baby, please help me. This weird nigga came, put me in the back of a truck and told me to shake my booty cheeks. So Light said, baby, calm down. Now, did you do what I told you to do if you ever got in a situation like this? Yeah. And that is what she did because she wrote Mello's name down and killed that nigga. But Light, being a sick and twisted bastard, decided, nah, I'ma get as much out of you as I can until your gas tank is empty, bitch. So Light told her on the phone,
the time has come. Execute
Not Order 66.
So he made her call up Mikami and made her tell him, send me as many criminals as you can so I can go on a killing spree. So while she was doing that, Light was just sitting in the car on the way to go pick her up. And in his head, he just said, man, you know what? You should have never went to that frat party without me, bitch.
What?
Oh no.
Light made her unalive herself by burning herself alive and setting everything on fire to get rid of every single piece of evidence. And just like that, that was Light Yagami's final victim. Because the next day on January 28th, this nigga got... Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the final confrontation with Nier, Light got cooked. This nigga went out so sad, bro. Nier read this motherfucker like a book. It was actually fucking hilarious seeing this nigga lose his mind because Mikami utterly failed. So Light tried to pull a fast one, but Matsuda just dumped bullets in his ass. So for Light to escape, Mikami just nigga committed seppuku and Light just ran away, but they didn't even bother chasing him. He was done. So Ryuk watching over the whole thing was just like, well, I'll give it to you, Light. You was one entertaining motherfucker, but I need my notebook back. And on January 2010, anime's most deadliest serial killer dies of a heart attack. Man, how everything comes full fucking circle, doesn't it,
It
buddy?
was eventually gonna come back to him. I mean,
All right, everybody, it's time for our final tally. Now, obviously, keeping kill count in this is literally impossible because there were mad off-screen deaths, and he just wasn't killing criminals.
He made
was
his spot
killing
at the
innocent
table.
people, too, and also people with just
Light
petty
is 5'11".
crimes. He probably
I
killed
didn't
your
know
ass
that.
if you got a speeding ticket. Cause this motherfucker was just evil. I mean, you know how many families he probably tore apart doing this shit? A lot. Shit, one like equals one prayer for these families, man. But here's what we'll do. If one of y'all can get an actual reasonable number and people actually agree with you, I'll pin the comment and we'll make that our number. But you know what that number gonna be right now? Drum roll, please. A lot. I mean,
A lot.
it is. I mean, I ain't lying. Anyways, man, case closed. And that is another installment of Anime's Deadliest Serial Killers. So hope y'all enjoyed it. Get ready, baby, because our next trial is gonna be the beefiest one we've ever had. Yes, I'm already getting it. So until then, I'm out this, Yeah.
Bro, I know you didn't know the car shredder Splinter, bro.
it was an accident. I said the wrong thing, man.
Well, yeah, that was anime's greatest serial killer.
And that was the longest video we've ever seen on this channel.
You wasn't even watching it.
Nigga, you wasn't even here. Shut up.
Even watching
nigga, go. That nigga didn't watch
This
nothing.
man had his camera off the whole time.
I don't want to hear nothing.
This man had his camera off the whole time.
I don't. Yeah, he was on mute.
He ain't give not one piece of commentary. I ain't gonna lie, I was falling asleep. I was slowly falling asleep.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I was too. I was on. You didn't know that I come on doing
this. That's why I kept moving. That was that man Light Yagami. He was a menace. A menace.
The world's greatest.
And his dad was
the world's
awesome.
greatest. His dad. To be honest, his dad went out the best because he didn't have to know. He died thinking his son was a good person. His daughter is brain damaged, but she's still gonna live. But he went out thinking his son was a good person, even though his son is Kira and died like a week later after him. So
bro caused all that pain and suffering.
I know his mom's sick right now because, like, imagine your husband dead, your daughter brain damaged to repair, downright a vegetable. Your son's a serial killer who got killed by the FBI. Like, bro, her family cooked. Her family is cooked, bro. The Yagami family tree is done. It's done.
I wouldn't even want to go in public anymore because they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're the one that had that kid."
Who going in public, bro? Like, she old. She in a retirement home right now.
Again, y'all.
I had my mic muted, but yeah, I low-key fell asleep too. I ain't gonna lie, so I think we can.
No, nigga, I told you that was coming. I told you that was cool. What did I say, Quiz? What did I say to this nigga, Quiz?
Tired, bro.
This man, we all tired. We all.
Yeah, me and Quiz struggled. Me and Quiz struggled through this. Real niggas, bro.
I'm tired though, bro. I'm like,
nigga, no. I'm thinking about to get me tight.
That video took a lot out of me just now.
Bro, that was 30 minutes of my life. Like, I just watched.
I'm about to tweet.
What do you mean?
I swear to God, this nigga say one more thing, I'm gonna tweet. I'm gonna tweak out, bro.
That was the lowest 30 minutes of my life, bro. And he was a japping. He was a japping, bro. That video did not have to
bro, it did. He had to get all the stuff that Light did, bro. Man killed over 600 bands of niggas.
Quiz, did the video have to be that long?
I feel like it did. It had a lot of information.
For real.
Oh, bro.